all of the international WIFs hold the same mission statement, which is to uplift women in the industry, educate them, help give opportunities, networking together. You'll hear more about the events and workshops very soon. We'll go to the next one. So I spoke to some women from Women in Film and Television. I reached out and I got a couple just little statements from someone. I had a member who wished not to be named, but they've been a member since 2006, and they benefited greatly from the events. They're a producer, so they did a whole bunch of producing workshops, refreshing skills, upskilling, learning from each other. Really great environment to learn from other women. She said personally she would find if the workshops were easier to attend. We all know working in the industry is insane and kind of crazy with scheduling. So I just kind of asked, how has it helped you and what can they do better? And the woman that I spoke to said that she would love to have a little bit more notice about the workshops. And then I also spoke to another member, Marie, who's been a member since 2008. She says she enjoys being an active member. She has been a member since 2008. She loves the workshops and event opportunities, and loves learning new skills in film with a group of other women. Finds it very empowering and uplifting to be in a networking and learning environment with a bunch of other women that are all in the same boat. Cool.
Oh, it's me. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, so you've heard that they do events and workshops. So that's one of the main things that WIFT does as a guild. So I've got some examples here. They put them up on their website, and then you can click and read more information, and it tells you when, and then you just apply. So these are the upcoming events. So for example, they have a workshop with cinematographer Andrew McGeorge, and then it just, when you read more, it tells you kind of what they'll be looking over during the event. And then they have like screenings and Q&As sometimes with directors or other people that have worked on the film. They have a archive of all of the events that they've done, and it goes back to 2010, and there's so many events. So like the first workshop is the director, the first AD, and the producer, and it's dynamic, and that was a panel of industry professionals, and they had set up pre-designed questions, and then at the end you could ask them questions, and it was all about like how those three people work together to create that film and how they have that relationship. Even things from legal basics for emerging producers, creative casting, again film screenings with Q&As, and then more social networking events like the speed dating for writers, directors, and producers. And I think that's just for you to know who else is out there and what kind of ideas and stuff they have, and if you could potentially work together in the future. Things from animals on set, rights, camera, and contracts. That was a really interesting one, again, on once you receive the budget, kind of what are the legal constraints and your contracts, and like what chain of title is. They just run through everything, and it's all free. Some might be like $5 or something like that. So that's why I was confused. So those are flipped around, so you can just go to the next one. So we've spoken about the WIFT Awards, but I'll just go into a little bit more detail, and kind of some of the categories that they award to. So this is the biannual awards, and for example, like the Weta Group Creative Technology Award is for people in like TV, digital media, including editor, colorist, sound editor, recordist, visual effects artists, supervisors, editors, animators, so everyone kind of in that field. Then we have the Fulcrum Media Finance Woman to Watch Award, and this is just a general to recognize a woman with an emerging body of work who shows the potential to have a significant career in the industry. That's a pretty big award. And then we have another Camera Company Craft Award, and this goes to someone who is in a very dominated male field, which is like camera, sound, lighting, grip, stunt work, set design. So that goes out to someone that does this. This is a really interesting part of their website, and if you're interested in what we're talking about, I'd suggest have a look. They have the WIFT News, and when you click on that, it has just a bunch of things that are kind of happening in the moment. So they have a really cool interviews. This one's currently the director Frances O'Connor on Making Emily, the film Emily that's just come out. So they have some really cool interviews and news articles and things about things that are happening right now. Calls for submission. They have a whole bunch of lists of film festivals or competitions of things that are happening right now and that you can submit to. And it's not necessarily things that events and competitions that they've created. It's things that they have seen that are around and are putting on their website for you to kind of know where to submit and stuff. On Our Radar, that's kind of similar. Just other things like winning tickets to watch movies or other events that are happening that doesn't necessarily isn't planned by them. Maybe it's, I think there was a like here webinars on the review of government investment in the screen sector. That's not necessarily put on by them, but it is an interesting event, so they just put it on their radar. Yeah, and again, they have just Show Me Shorts lab applications, just reminders about what's happening. Cool. And then another really cool thing that they have, and you can see it on their website, is that they have discounts for a lot of things. Here are just some examples, but they have discounts on cinemas, on theaters, industry suppliers, publications, coaching, and many others. Like Resine Paints, the Studio Space, the cinemas, Academy Cinemas. This was a huge list. You can find the entire list with kind of what the discounts are. For example, Studio Space, I think it was something like 25% off renting out a studio, stuff like that. It's really, really great discounts. Yeah. I think
that's me.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about WIFT's advocacy and importance. So, and their aim. So they basically want to provide information and an educational forum to promote the interest of women in the television industry. So yeah, they just basically trying to push and help women in all different aspects in the film industry. And yeah, that's basically it. And this is a lovely photo of Medata Mita, and I found that it was really cute. So yeah, that's it. And why organizations like WIFT are so important for women and everyone else in the industry. So there's obviously not a really good balance in the film industry with women and men. So we just need equal opportunities. And good news, kind of, the numbers of women in the industry are increasing, but very, very slowly. So only 20% of behind-the-scenes roles on big movies are held by women. So that's not really great, but it's increasing. And only 17% of directors and writers are female. So yeah, that's it. It's just not many. And networking. So what WIFT are trying to do is just to expand the networking with the events that Miranda was saying. So I find that really great, because when you start meeting lots of people, I feel that that's super important, so you can make friends and connections, and that's why WIFT organizations like that are really, really important. And this is something really interesting that I found. Women were more likely to be employed in several behind the camera roles if a female director was involved with the film. So that's something really interesting, and there's obviously support there between the women community, gender. And also to inspire future generations, you know, little girls, make films. Next one. This is a cinematographer that I really, really admire, Ari Wagner. This is really funny because yesterday that I was doing some research about her, a friend of mine was at home and he said to me, yeah, I heard lots of things about him. And I was, it's not him, it's her. And he was like, oh, cool. And I was like, you know, that mindset that when you hear about a cinematographer and a man instantly comes to your mind. You don't have that image of a woman holding a camera, but here we go. And there's also this link of an interview that she had with Jane Campion, and she was just chatting with her, and she was explaining that she was one day doing her groceries, and she heard her phone, and it was Jane Campion, and she was like obviously shitting her pants, and she was like, oh my god. And Jane Campion just asked her, what are you up to in the next 2 years? And then the power of the dog. So yeah, just supporting women, you know. And oh no, can you go back? Mm-hmm. And this is another cinematographer, and she said something very interesting. More women are entering the industry, but I believe true change will only come when there is a significant shift in society's attitudes towards gender roles. So yeah, that's a yes. Let's go. So these are just the members of the WIFT's organization. So this is the big boss, Patricia Watson. I couldn't find a good picture of her, so I just put a funny filter of a heart. And yeah, she just has a really, really big career, and she is the executive director of WIFT New Zealand. And this is Miranda Rivers, and she is a casting director, and she worked in big films like Avatar, Hobbit, King Kong, and lots of really cool stuff. And the founder is New Zealand Film Commission and Foundation North. And next. And just 2 more of the members, because there's plenty of members in WIFT. So this is